there was definitely a time where I had to have a reality check with myself in running the business to say, yes, I do want to create a better life for my family. I am doing this to build our future. But what is the line that I'm not going to cross in pursuit of success that I can never get back from? When you do get to your final destination, that you're able to get there, lock and step, hand in hand, heart to heart with the people that you love. And that is the ultimate reward. That is the reward, is you using your gifts and building the best and most successful and profitable business that you possibly can, but keeping what's first. Welcome back. Thanks so much for tuning into the Kelly Roach Show. I am thrilled and honored that you took the time to be back here listening to the show today. So in this episode, we are going to dig into success, personal growth, and marriage. I get so many questions about my marriage and my family life and kind of how I do it all, running the companies and putting my family first in the process. Obviously, I talk about Billy and Madison all of the time. They're like the pride and joy of my life and the most important things in my life, along with my faith in God. And, I want to dig into some things that I think can help you along the journey. And, I'll start by saying this. If you are someone that listens to the show that is in a relationship or in a marriage, it is so important that you lean in and participate in conversations with other people that are in healthy relationships and healthy marriages. I know for so many of us, we did not have that example growing up, and it's something we want so much for our lives, right? And the reason why I started speaking more openly about marriage and about my marriage and about family and about all the things that for many years I kind of kept totally separate from business is that I'm watching the direction that culture and society is going. And it is very clear to me that unless you become extremely counterculture in pretty much every area of your life, you're going to end up super unhappy. And I've also noticed definitely a norm in the entrepreneurial space around, a lot of entrepreneurs that achieve a new level of success in their business and then begin to experience, very severe issues and challenges and problems in their marriages. Now, there's no judgment to anyone that has left a relationship that was not good for them or decided to proactively make a change in their relationship because it just wasn't right and you knew it wasn't right. So I just, from my heart, I know that is like the hardest thing to go through, and it's not a position that anyone wants to be in. No one goes into a relationship wanting to see it not work out or fall apart. And I definitely want to express that from a place of compassion and empathy for anyone listening that has gone through that. But I'm also going to say that there's probably a lot of people listening that have had seasons of their business and seasons of their life where their marriage kind of took the back burner. And everything that we see and hear online and in society and in culture doesn't give us a good example of how to show up for our significant others in a meaningful way that's going to stand the test of time. And it makes me so sad because being someone that is a mentor in the business space, the only thing I want for all of you is to use your gifts and to live a great life and to make your dreams a reality. But I cannot emphasize enough that if you pursue success at all costs, and if you end up with gods other than our God, the Father, and pursue success at all costs and lose relationships or lose closeness with your children or lose your health over the pursuit of success, it will make achieving that success completely empty and meaningless, because it's the moment in which that success happens that you get to share that and celebrate that and feel that with the people that you love and the people that you made that sacrifice for so long for. That's what makes it matter, right? What makes it matter is when you're able to have that full circle moment and celebrate it with the people that you love and be in good health and be of sound mind and be in a good place with the person that you've chosen to spend your life with or your children that you brought into the world, right? And so I just want to share a couple perspectives that I think may be helpful. And I'm not a marriage counselor. I'm not saying that we have it perfect or, any stretch of the means. Obviously, we're just learning and growing. And, Billy and I have been together for 17 years. We love each other so much. And our marriage has been such a blessing to both of us. And most importantly, our marriage has been a blessing to Madison, getting to have two parents that love each other so deeply in the house together, raising her together, emotionally and physically present and available for her. And that is what I want for you and for you to be able to pass on to your children and your children's children. And, we all change our family tree by everything that we do. And maybe for some of you, you're not in a relationship right now, but you're going to get into one. Or maybe you just got out of a relationship and you hope to get into a new one. And so I hope there's something here, regardless, that can be helpful for you. And, the question that I get from people all the time, and I guess a concern that I hear from people is, I'm growing so much and my significant other is not. I hear this from people all the time. And here's the cold, hard truth that I want to say to you, right? Your life partner is not in your life to be your business bestie. It is not their job to be like your hype person that is like wanting to know every little detail about what you're doing all day, every day, and all the things that you're working on and the concepts that you're excited about and the things that you're doing and the conferences that you want to attend. I see so many women angry and frustrated with their significant other, saying that they don't support them because they do not get excited about and want to be a part of everything that they're doing in their business. They're not like hyped up to want to go to like business conferences and masterminds and go do personal development seminars and read the same books and do all the same things. That doesn't mean that that person isn't growing. There is so many different ways that people grow and evolve in their lives. And there's a pretty good chance that if you are meant to do something significant from a business perspective, that God paired you with someone intentionally that was going to be that foundation, that was going to help create that supportive environment for you and for the business to thrive. And there's a very strong possibility that the intention of bringing you and that person together was not for you to be business besties. It was for you to have a rock, for you to have a real relationship, for you to stay grounded in the truth, stay grounded in all that life can offer you, not just business, but the outcome of building a great business. And I think it's a real shame because I think that there's almost a cult-like mentality in the entrepreneurial space where people start kind of like drinking the juice and they become so obsessed and they become so wrapped up in the idea of being an entrepreneur that they forget what's important. Your spouse was put in your life to live, to grow, and to evolve with you in the building of a great life together. Some people choose to do life and business together, and that is beautiful. I have a couple clients that I love and adore so much, and they do business and life together, and let me tell you, they are kicking ass. Like, amazing stuff can happen when spouses come together, and that is the intent and plan for their life. And I think you know if that's you, right? But where I want to be a sounding board, or maybe you could say a sounding alarm in the entrepreneurial space, is I think a lot of people misconstrue their spouse is not growing for their spouse is not growing in the same way as them. And I think that is a devastating mistake to make in your relationship. I think that as a business leader, there are many support mechanisms for you in coaching programs, in masterminds, in networking communities, in other people in the entrepreneurial space for you to get support from a business perspective and from a leadership development perspective. And I think it's a shame when so much pressure is put on your spouse to need to be interested in doing what you do or becoming who you're becoming. And that then causes problems in the relationship because they're not being supportive, quote unquote. Many times, and I look at myself, and I'll just use myself as an example, and I always say this, like, I'm not here to prescribe anything. My only experience is my own experience. So I'm simply sharing from that perspective. Doesn't mean it's right for you. I'm just giving you perspective. I'm giving you food for thought. What you do with it is up to you. When I look at Billy, Billy has done everything he could possibly do to support me in every possible way so that I can fulfill my calling, so that I can build the most successful business I am possibly able to. He takes care of everything at home. He's home full time with Madison. He runs the show. He manages the vendors. He does the bills. He's everywhere doing everything so that I can show up, stand up, deliver, be present, have support at home, know that Madison is always taken care of, right? He does everything possible to support me to be able to answer my calling. His calling is not my calling. His gift is music, right? He's an artist. So when you think about that and you think about the way that an artist sees the world and the way that an artist interacts with the world and their mentality, their thought process, their ideas, the way that they behave, how they spend their time, it is so different from a Heidi type A business leader running, multiple companies, right? And big teams and operating, a business, right? And so we're very unique. We're very different. He supports me in every possible way I could dream of. He is not involved in the business at all. I don't want him to be. I only bring him in if it's a very significant or severe, issue that I need someone that is, has no agenda that can review a situation and help me make a judgment call on. But, I think it's really important to not put that pressure on your relationship for them to grow the way that you grow. Now, is it important for people in a relationship to evolve and grow over time? Absolutely, right? You're not going to be the same person when you meet your spouse as who you're going to be once you're 10 years or 20 years or 30 years into the relationship. You have to both keep growing. You both have to commit to your own personal evolution, right? But that's not the same as putting pressure on your spouse to want to be an entrepreneur, to want to live in entrepreneur land, to want to be, having their hands in your business, to want to read and listen and talk the same way you do and want to hang out with your entrepreneur friends. That is a super unfair and very selfish perspective, in my opinion, that I think ruins a lot of marriages. And that brings me to point number 2. We see so many divorces happening in the entrepreneurial space. And in many instances, what happens is the person experiences, a period of success in the business. And typically after a very large growth spurt in the business, it's like the shooting star that kind of implodes. And then, there's some recalibration that's needed. It's a new season. It's a new set of challenges. There's an adjustment period, all of that. But I think a lot of times people are so kind of dysregulated, and they are saying, another week, another month, another year, I just need to, focus on the business, and they're burning the candle at both ends. They're not sleeping. They're not taking care of themselves. They're not making time or space for the relationship with the most important people in their life. And the byproduct of that is, in that season of pursuit of success at all costs, what happens is a lot of times these two people grow apart. Why do they grow apart? They have no time together. There's no basis for the relationship, because the only thing that the entrepreneur is focused on or thinking about or taking time for is the business, right? And so at the other side of that season of success is a separation a lot of times, because they get to the other side of that success and there's nothing keeping that relationship intact. Everything has been severed. The connection is gone. The relationship is gone. And at this point, this person's like, well, I don't need you. I accomplished all of this on my own. I got here without you. I'm going to, keep doing what I'm doing, whatever the case. And again, this is where I see so much infighting in relationships, where so many entrepreneurs are struggling with their marriages, because they are frustrated and angry that they are making so many sacrifices, quote unquote, for the family, and their spouse is so resentful towards the business. So here it is, on one side of the relationship, this person is like, this is my baby. I've sacrificed my life for this. I've given my everything. And they're saying, as they're doing it, that I'm doing this for my family. I'm doing this for you. I love you. That's why I'm doing this. And on the other side of the relationship is someone who's saying, I hate this business. I hate who you're becoming. I resent this business. I resent you. I don't see my place in this relationship anymore. Who you've become in the process of building this business, I don't resonate with that person anymore. I don't want to be a part of it, right? And so you get through that season of success, and now you have two people that are not moving in conjunction anymore. It's not a relationship that is moving congruently forward into the future. It's two people that are now going in opposite directions, both resentful towards one another, right? But for very different reasons. Don't let this happen to you. Do not let this happen to you. There is nothing, there is no level of success, there is no amount of money that is worth that. Not a cent. Because if you're with the person that you love and you are with the person that God destined you to be with, you could lose everything and you could still find happiness. But you could have everything. And if that connection, that bond is broken between you and your children, or you and the person that you're choosing to spend your life with, there's no amount of money, there's no amount of success that can replace that or fill that void. And there's an unbelievable amount of pain that will go on for years and years and years into the future once you go through separation and then divorce. And here's my third big point. A lot of people, when they're pursuing success in their businesses, they constantly kind of keep themselves going by saying, I'm doing this for the family. And I get that. And there were many years and many seasons where I said that as well. There were many years and many seasons when I said that as well. And there was definitely a time where I had to have a reality check with myself in running the business to say, yes, I do want to create a better life for my family. I am doing this to build our future. but what is the line that I'm not going to cross in pursuit of success that I can never get back from? Because you feel that you are doing it for the family, but in reality, you're doing it for you. You're doing it to fulfill your goals, your dreams. Yes, you want to provide for your family. Yes, you want them to have a great life, all of those things. But you know what your family will tell you? You know what your kids will tell you? I want time with you. That's what they're going to tell you. If you put blocks down on the table in front of them and said, pick one, and you said we could have, $5 million in the bank as a family, or I could take 2 hours every night to play Scrabble and Uno and, have game night together, they'd say, I'll live in a shack. I want Scrabble and Uno with you. And that's the thing. When you're saying it's success at all costs, when you're compromising your health, your mental health, your physical health, your spiritual connection, your time with the people you love, and you're saying I'm doing it for them, check yourself and make sure that you're really doing it for them and that is what they would choose, right? Now, will there be inevitable sacrifices that you will have to make on the daily to get to where you want to be financially and in your business? 100%, absolutely. I never shy away from that. I sacrificed so much for so long to put my family in the position that it's in today. But there also became an enough line where I said, now it's switching gears from sprinting to a certain outcome, sprinting to a certain quality of life, a certain, income level, whatever the case, and then really switching gears and looking at the marathon. Because now is the time that it's about quality time with my family. It's about quality time with one another. It's about setting ourselves up as a family and setting the businesses up to go the distance, right? And you have to remember that they say most businesses go out of business because they run out of cash. But if a business once knew how to make a sale, the business still knows how to make a sale. You can always produce cash. It's when you, the business owner, lose the will to keep going that you will no longer take the right actions that will produce the cash. So do not kid yourself. You're not going to go out of business because you can't find a way to make $1. You know how to make $1. Gun to your head, you would figure out how to make $1. You will go out of business on the day that you no longer have the will to do the things that are necessary to make the $1. And that is an extremely important distinction for you to understand in your pursuit of your success. And so what does that mean? It means that you have to find a way to balance the mental and physical and spiritual health and maintenance of sustaining self in order to be able to pour into others. And you need to be able to find a healthy rhythm of what does it look like for you to then take that sustenance and that sustaining of self and split the energy of what you're pouring into your faith and your family and the other things that you care about, and then the energy that you're pouring into the business. Because a happy person is always going to outperform a miserable one. So find your happy, find your fulfillment, find your little thing you're going to do for you each day to sustain, staying in the game. And there will be a lot of positive byproduct of that. So I wanted to take this time today to start this conversation, which we're going to be having many conversations. There's a lot I didn't cover in today's session, but I wanted to begin the conversation here. And I just want to say, give yourself grace and give your spouse grace. And ask yourself when the last time you invested in your marriage to make that relationship healthier and stronger, the same way that you're investing in getting better and learning more and doing more to grow the business. Because rebalancing that is going to make sure that when you do get to your final destination, that you're able to get there, lock in step, hand in hand, heart to heart with the people that you love. And that is the ultimate reward. That is the reward, is you using your gifts, you creating significant contribution, you showing up fully in your power and building the best and most successful and profitable business that you possibly can. But keeping what's first in the process. So give your spouse some grace. Give your relationship some thought. Challenge yourself to reinvest in the person that you chose to do life with the same tenacity and ferocity that you've chosen to invest in your business. And when that person sees that growth in you, I guarantee you're going to see that growth in them too. So remember, different people are put in our lives for different reasons. And you can have your business bestie at work, but remember, your spouse chose you to do life with. And remember that along the way. If today's episode touched you and you got something of value out of this session, please do me a favor and make sure that you subscribe to the show and check us out over on YouTube so that you never miss an episode. And if you loved this conversation today and you want to hear more about love and marriage, relationships and business and how it all comes together, send me a DM on Instagram and just say, hey, Kelly, expand on this, or can we talk about that? I'd love to hear from you. Thanks as always for tuning into the Kelly Roach Show, and I'll see you back here next week. Thank you so much for listening to the Kelly Roach Show. If you enjoyed this episode, do me 2 solids. Subscribe to the show so you never miss an episode, and leave us a review so other people can find the life-changing content that we share here. We're on our way to #1, and we need your help getting there. Thanks so much for being a part of the community and for tuning into the show each and every week.